Alright, let's talk about this Columbus Day thing because it just got loud again. The White House dropped a proclamation saying the US should reclaim Christopher Columbus's legacy. The message: Columbus as a symbol of courage, Columbus as a symbol of exploration, Columbus as a symbol of Italian-American pride, Columbus as the so-called birth of the Western Hemisphere as we know it. Here's the deal. Proclamations are symbolic. They don't change law, but they do set tone. And this one pointedly does not mention Indigenous Peoples Day, which a lot of states and cities now celebrate on the same Monday. That omission isn't an accident. Native outlets called it out immediately, saying the document erases Indigenous histories, erases ongoing harms, and rolls back years of recognition that Indigenous Peoples Day has built. On the other side, you had a very loud "we're back" moment from Italian-American groups and some politicians. Supporters say Columbus Day has always been less about the man and more about immigrant pride, an answer to a time when Italians faced real discrimination in the US. So why is this flaring now? Because the narrative around Columbus has shifted hard over the last few decades. Academic historians point to primary records, enslavement, brutality on Hispaniola, and the start of a transatlantic system that devastated indigenous populations. Critics say celebrating that story without context is wrong. Supporters fire back. Don't judge a 15th century figure by 21st century standards. They argue Columbus is foundational to American identity and exploration. Opponents respond that honoring him specifically is a choice. We could honor exploration or honor Italian-American heritage without the atrocities attached. Zooming out, recognition across the US is a patchwork. Some states still mark Columbus Day as a paid holiday. Others replaced it with Indigenous Peoples Day. Some recognize both, one officially, one ceremonially. Cities and school districts vary even more. So yeah, it's confusing. And now the politics heats up. One GOP lawmaker is pushing a bill to penalize cities that dropped Columbus Day. Think pulling certain state funds unless they bring the holiday back. That raises questions about local control, culture war legislation, and whether courts would even allow that kind of financial pressure. What does the proclamation actually do? It signals federal preference. It influences agency messaging, and it rallies a base. It doesn't force states or cities to change their calendars, but expect more copycat bills, school board debates, and social media fights. What gets lost in the noise is the shared ground. Most people agree Italian Americans deserve celebration without stigma, and most people agree Indigenous communities deserve honesty, visibility, and respect for sovereignty and survival. The tension is over which symbols we elevate. Possible paths forward: states keeping both observances, schools teaching a fuller history, Columbus's navigational significance, and the violent aftermath, at the same time as they highlight Indigenous resilience and contributions today. Civic celebrations that separate Italian heritage from the Columbus myth. Bottom line, the proclamation is a cultural flashpoint, not a legal overhaul. It's a bet that doubling down on Columbus energizes supporters in an election-adjacent climate. Whether that sticks depends on lawmakers, courts, and you and your local community choose to honor. So, check your city calendar. Look at what your school teaches this week. If you care about this, show up. Email a board member. Attend a meeting, support a local Indigenous org, or an Italian-American cultural group doing inclusive programming. Symbols matter because we give them power. I'll keep watching where this goes. If a bill moves or a state flips its holiday, I'll break it down. Be good to each other.